Hey, my name is Joel and I work with Dash with business development and marketing. And my key message is you better start using crypto before it gets too late. We're at a unique time where we have the ability to separate money from state and bank and actually take control over our financial sovereignty and our sovereignty as a whole as a result. We can do it now, and we won't get most of the world doing this unless we take the initiative and do it first. So start using crypto before it's too late.
You said crypto is still fish with legs, right?
Yes.
What's still missing before it can walk?
Well, you kind of can lock a little bit, but basically there's a few things that are missing. The biggest thing is basic usability tools, where things should be social and intuitive. If anyone still sees a blockchain address, if that's common practice in crypto, I think that then we're still too early. We need to get past that. Yes, there are things like usernames and then contact lists in the better way that do sort of get out of that, but that tends to be kind of the limitation. Usually, almost always, you will see people interacting with long, ugly addresses. That's one thing. The second thing is conditional transaction finality, or whatever you call, where you send a payment and it's not done. It's like, well, let's wait for some confirmations, or well, let's see if this, and that shouldn't be a thing. You just should press the button and it's over. And then the final thing I would say is intuitive recovery systems, because right now the seed phrase is the #1 backup for everything, and it's too easy to get that wrong, too easy to make that not work out. When people are able to take like a physical device, like whether it's a security key from somewhere else, or whether they're able to get their friends and family to vouch for them to get their keys back and get recovery like that, then I think we can completely get rid of custodial solutions for all but very specific use cases.
Dash Evolution now lets people use username and store payment contacts. How is that going to change everything?
So I think it's really going to change something if we get this more widely adopted. Of course, anytime you create a new system, there's always the limitations of who actually uses it. And if it's like, oh well, I still have this set up over here, then it gets kind of reduced. But basically, by just having a very simple, intuitive way of making payments with people, where you have a username, you look them up, you add them as a friend or a frequent contact, you send money back and forth, and that there's a record of all that, and then the purposes of those payments, those are all there. And that's built not in some slick app, but that's built into the entire protocol, so where anyone can just have an app that just supports this, and then it's just all there. It's kind of a universal standardization. I think that could really make people not have to learn how to use crypto, because right now people have to learn. There's a lot of new things like, what is an address? How do you do this? Does this work with that? How do you back things up? There's a lot of learning that at some point I think that anyone who uses a basic like social media site, like say X, should be able to figure it out without any actual training. And I think we're getting a glimpse of what that looks like now.
You said 2.8 billion humans are now able to pay bills with crypto. Are we now crossing the line to real adoption?
Yes, so it's like 2.8 about. I think those are the people that could conceivably be able to do this. Now, the next step is obviously you have to start educating people, you have to start onboarding people, and then those solutions have to start getting, more and more efficient. One thing is when you have a business that services these kinds of things and you have very few customers, sometimes the fees have to be higher. And so like if you pay an extra bit of money to be able to use crypto instead of fiat for a bill pay system, at some point, some people are just gonna say, nah, it's not convenient enough for me to do this. But when we start to get the ball rolling, get more people using it, then those margins get smaller, and eventually you have where end companies don't have to have money wired into their bank account when someone pays a bill in crypto, where instead they just take the crypto themselves directly. And we start to remove all those little intermediary steps that you have to take to actually get your money to where it's supposed to go in the end, and then things just get more efficient over time. throw more usage and people into the thing, and it'll start to solve itself a lot better, I think.
You said use it or lose it. What happens if people don't use crypto now?
If people don't use crypto now, I guess roughly blockchain-centric technologies that are used in not free ways will just win out, and then we'll have the fiat system, but more efficient at surveilling and censoring, and that's a dystopia I don't really want to live in.